Hi guys, I'm here with John Smit at the Heineken Captain's Dinner. We've got the Webb Ellis Cup, which we just learnt is you're only allowed to touch it if you've held it. And John, obviously you have. Maybe you can just tell us a bit about the evening and just what the World Cup philosophy means to you.
Yeah, I think we're pretty fortunate. Heineken has been kind enough to bring the trophy to South Africa, and we've got an opportunity here to hold it once again. You know, when you once we've won it, I didn't realise how many times I'd get to touch it again. So it is pretty special. It brings back a lot of memories. But I think tonight's really just about bringing that cup to the people that really make it happen. The fans, the people that really watch the game. I mean, that's me now. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
The fact that I get to touch it at a photo shoot now is not quite the same as playing for it over a 7-week period. But it's been a really good night listening to Jean de Villiers and his stories, and we're fortunate enough to be able to relive those memories of many years ago.
Yeah, and you're obviously chatting to the people here and the fans and some of the players that are here as well. I mean, what is the key message to some of the guys looking to make that World Cup squad in terms of how they go about a Super Rugby season, perhaps trying to make that squad if they're on the periphery? Yeah,
it can be a tricky year. I think if you're one of those guys who's been in the mix, it's pretty simple. Just keep doing what you've been doing and try and focus on being consistent. And if you want to be one of those sort of the newbies, the odd pick, you've got to really shoot lights out in the season, and you've got to show some X factor. So it's a tough year because you've got to forget about getting injured and forget about all the things that can go wrong, and actually just focus on the opportunity that a year like this can present to you as a player that might have a chance to represent your country.
Yeah, you mentioned you're almost in a way a fan now. I mean, when you look from the couch and see how the Springboks are progressing, I mean, what do you make of the way things are going under Rassie?
Well, I think we've certainly seen that there's been some progress. You can see some structures in place, and the systems look certainly alive. Our guys are getting much better at understanding how they want to attack and certainly how they want to defend. And I guess the results probably didn't give us as much joy as we would have liked, but I think what we did see is we saw a team that has got the makings of someone who can upset some big teams, and that's really what a World Cup is: 7 weeks in a row, making sure that you make every moment count.
Yeah. John, just two final questions. Obviously, New Zealand first up at the World Cup. I mean, is that a blessing or is that a real challenge? How do you see that one?
Look, I guess if we win, it'll be a blessing. If we lose, it'll be taking the high road, which means we've probably got to hit Ireland in the quarterfinals. But this is a World Cup that's got more than just one team that's the favourite. There's 4 or 5 teams that really have a decent chance of lifting their trophy after 7 weeks. So we've got to work it out for us. I think we've got a team that's shown that they certainly were able to do it twice last year. I think that the game we lost probably was one we probably should have won. The one we won was probably the one that we hung on to, for dear life. But we showed some real grit, and that's really what a World Cup year will be about. Is when you need to pull things off. A scramble defence got to save you, and you've got to win that game, whether it's by 1 point or by 40. It counts for the same after 7 weeks.
Sure. And as the captain who's been there, I mean, Sia Khaleesi obviously had to deal with a lot of pressure last year, but now going into the second year, if he's the guy to lead the Boks to the World Cup, what would be your advice to him?
Yeah, I think Sia's he's done an amazing job so far, and I think he's just such a different captain to myself and the guys after me as well. He's without doubt got far more pressure than any other captain before him, because he just he represents so much about what is right about South African rugby and where it's come from of all these decades. So yeah, he's got a big responsibility, and I think my advice to him will always be focus on what's got him there. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He plays like a warrior, and he's just he's just good inside, and his players follow him naturally. He doesn't have to say too much. He just goes out there and shows his emotions through his actions.
Cool. Thank you, John.
Sure.